welcome to the OHIO podcast, where we take no prisoners, we hold no punches, and we defend the scarlet and gray with every beat of our Buckeye hearts. This is the Wildman Chris Wilds, and today I want to talk a little bit about the firestorm, the bombshell that was dropped by former Ohio State coach Urban Meyer yesterday. So for those of you who didn't catch it, Coach Urban Meyer came out yesterday and was discussing, I guess, investigations by the NCAA, and specifically what should happen should you lie to the NCAA during an investigation. And this is what Urban had to say. If you lie as a college football coach to the NCAA, in my personal opinion, you are finished. You are done. Urban basically stating a lifetime ban should be issued to any coach who lies during an NCAA investigation. Now, those are strong words, a strong standard. And Meyer's point is that coaches must be held to the same standard, if not a greater standard, than the players that they lead. And frankly, that's a message that should really resonate across every program in the country. So let me repeat that. He's saying if a player can be punished or suspended by the NCAA for lying, why should a coach get a pass? And Urban didn't just make this up. He didn't just make this comment because there's evidence of this. One of the instances he brought up was Des Bryant. For all those of you who don't recall this, Des Bryant, huge star at Oklahoma State back in 2009. And there was an incident with Des Bryant and current Colorado coach Deion Sanders, where Des was invited to a dinner at Deion Sanders' home, which nothing illegal there. At the time, Sanders not a coach, not involved in the NCAA. Nothing shady going on. However, as the NCAA started sniffing around into this, investigating, Sanders had brought an NFL agent to his home for that dinner. And Des Bryant lied about this and covered it up. And the NCAA suspended Des Bryant for a whole season. It damaged his career. It damaged his draft stock. And the NCAA did this without hesitation and without remorse. So what Urban is just saying here, guys, is why? Why, if that kid lost a season to a lie, why should a coach be able to lie and suffer no consequence? Or, and let's call it what it is, a shot fired here. Why should a coach lie, obstruct an investigation, and then take a self-imposed 2-game suspension for 2 meaningless games in the middle of the season? Now, Buckeye fans, of course, as well as fans around the country, have been very vocal about this comment. A lot of people aren't going to let this slide because, as you know, Coach Urban Meyer himself has had some issues with the NCAA. You know, we all remember the headline about Zach Smith back in 2018. There were allegations, no evidence, but allegations that Meyer, who was our coach at the time, had not properly reported these allegations. Now, Ohio State, not the NCAA, came forward immediately and suspended Meyer for 3 games. But an investigation uncovered that Urban did not deliberately lie or cover up anything, but failed to uphold the values of the university. Now think about that for a minute. Failed to uphold the values of the university by not taking it further. NCAA found nothing at fault with this, but Ohio State held him to a higher standard. So it's fair to say Meyer's words, in the eyes of some, may feel a little rich, a little hypocritical. And that's the argument that's being made out of Ann Arbor right now, is uh, that Myers is kind of overstepping, that Urban is talking out his backside for intensive purposes. Urban talking about honesty, give me a break. That was what was said on one of the Twitter sites that was out there. Another one, from the mouth of a man, lie radar went off the charts. Strong words from coming from a guy who cheats on his wife. Now that's where they've gone with this. They are making comments about Urban's family because the fact is they are so defensive right now because whether it was outright mentioned or not, it was a shot across the bow of the Losers. People calling for the seasons at Ohio State to be erased because of the alleged incident, which the NCAA investigated and found nothing with. Accusations of pay to play under Urban, which unfounded. But this is, I think, a major take from a major figurehead. The statement, particularly in light of some of his controversies, may seem to sniff of a bit of hypocrisy. However, my take on it is this: the NCAA investigated this and found Urban guilty of no wrongdoing. It was Ohio State who held him to the higher standard. And all Urban is saying is, listen, if we're going to hold our players to these standards, we've got to hold our coaches to a higher standard. These are the men who are leading these young men. And I don't want to hear people saying, oh, is this Urban Meyer really lecturing about morality? As one Twitter follower had posted. Because, yes, this is Urban Meyer lecturing about not so much morality, but standards. And I was surprised by the comment, but I totally agree with the comment. So here it is. I'm going to come in with a little bit of Buckeye truth here. Yes, Urban Meyer had his faults. Yes, 2018 was a disaster. But let's call it what it is. This isn't what it was about. This is about the kind of sport we want college football to be. Do we want to keep watching players be penalized and lose out because of a half truth or an omission in a compliance interview? While the grown men who lead them lie, dodge, deflect, jump ship, and just keep cashing checks? Or do we think there should be accountability across the board? Urban Meyer, despite the heat he's getting for this, is 100% right. If you lie to the NCAA as a coach, you are done. And you should be. Because if you're asking young men to buy into culture, truth, sacrifice, discipline, then damn it, the guy who is leading them needs to do the same. So, let me know what you think. Throw a comment in the chat, guys, because I want to know, was Urban speaking the hard truth? I believe he was. Or was he just ignoring his own reflection? Let me know what you think. Hit us up on X, Facebook. Obviously, comment here on our YouTube channel. We're going to read through these comments. Maybe we'll do another video to follow up on this. I don't know. Make sure you like, subscribe. Hey, if you love what we do here, make sure you become an official member of the chat, or official member of the page. It's only $3.99 a month. So until next time, stay loyal, stay loud, stay a Buckeye. OH. Wildman out.